Hello and welcome to the Angus Report, a news program geared toward cattle producers. I'm Bob Cervera.
And I'm Paige Wallace. From American Angus Association headquarters in St. Joseph, Missouri, we bring you the week's top headlines, including a look at significant reversal from the UN on animal agriculture and the environment.
Federal regulators are considering a proposed ID rule that requires ear tags. Could it spell the beginning of the end for branding?
And do your bulls have their passports? We take a look at growing worldwide demand for Angus genetics and international marketing opportunities. This is the Angus Report.
Our top story for the week. In 2006, the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization released a highly publicized report titled Livestock's Long Shadow. In it, the FAO reported that livestock produce more greenhouse gases than transportation and account for 18% of total greenhouse gases. In recent weeks, however, the FAO has reversed those initial findings thanks to research conducted by air quality researcher Frank Mitloehner at the University of California, Davis.
So what we found was that when they looked at livestock, they looked at all the sources within a dairy or feedlot or ranch that produces these greenhouse gases like CO2 and methane and nitrous oxide. And they actually did a very good job on that. But when they looked at transportation, they didn't do a complete life cycle assessment, but instead they only looked at direct emissions of burning of gas. And actually the United Nations FAO was very honest about it, saying, yes, Mitloehner's right, we didn't do the same analysis for transportation as we did with livestock, and so we need to go back to the drawing board. The ultimate finding that was just published by the United Nations FAO a few weeks ago is that livestock production as we do it in the United States is actually a model for the rest of the world.
Mitloehner says the U.S. will serve as a model for other countries during the next 30 years as worldwide livestock production must double to meet the food requirements of the world's growing population. Visit Angus.org to watch the full interview with Mitloehner.
USDA has released its long-term ag projections through 2021 in a report commonly referred to as the baseline. The agency forecasts beef output to fall the next 2 years before reaching record levels in 2017. Record high cattle prices will remain through 2014 before declining. However, the annual average for fed steers is forecasted to remain above $110 per hundredweight. Visit USDA.gov to read the full report.
The American Angus Association Board of Directors met in St. Joseph, Missouri, February 21st through the 23rd to conduct association business. Board directors meet quarterly to set the course for Angus programs and services.
This year a little different format, which allowed all of our board members to sit in and hear all of the different entity reports, which in the past we haven't been able to do. So I think that was a real plus.
I think we've got a lot of great things going. I think one of the things about investing in Angus genetics that's very important to me, we have the largest database that gives your selection process the greatest amount of confidence. We also have the most programs through certified Angus beef that we can actually quantify and show people that it is adding value to their bottom line. Angus, the word Angus, I think, has probably become synonymous with quality in the beef industry. And I think that if you're in the market to buy bulls, I don't know how you wouldn't consider looking at an Angus bull, because I think they have the most to offer.
Visit Angus.org for more information and for board meeting highlights.
Federal regulators are considering a rule that would require ear tags for adult cattle moving across state lines. As USDA considers the proposal, reports suggest that if finalized, it could mean a move away from centuries-old hot iron branding. Proponents suggest an ear tag rule would lead to a standard method of cattle ID, making it easier for health officials to track diseases and their origin. Opponents, however, worry the rule would lead to unnecessary tags for younger cattle going to feed yards and an extra step for operations relying on branding systems. Stay tuned to future episodes of the Angus Report for further developments on the proposed rule.
Consumers are willing to pay more for source-verified beef. That's according to research from the University of Nebraska and the University of Adelaide. A study among high-end restaurants in the East and Southwest revealed consumers relate the source of beef with other attributes.
We surveyed over 1,000 customers of high-end restaurants, tried to find out what they wanted to know in their beef and what their expectations were. Then the other half of the project is the proof is in the pudding, right? So we actually provide some steaks for them to taste in the restaurant and tried to find out how much value would you put on source verified beef. We found, and I found very interesting, is customers will pay for source verified beef. They don't always ask for it, but when they see it, they believe that the accountability that's in a source verified system will provide for those customers an assurance of quality. So when your name's on it, they have confidence that it's going to be the right kind of product.
When the Angus Report returns, Certified Angus Beef introduces a new education and culinary center that bridges the gap between ranchers and those who prepare, serve, and sell quality Angus beef.
Plus a publications firm that focuses solely on Angus breeders and their customers.
Visit angus.org to continue watching this episode of the Angus Report.